level is something that's submitted to the FDA that proves that your device is able to achieve sterility. All right. When we talk about permissible exposure level, time-weighted average, personal monitoring devices, we are talking about EO or ETO, ethanol oxide. All right. Toxic gas, your key points. All right. Toxic gas. Machine has to be in well-ventilated negative pressure area. So it's not going to be in the same area as your other sterilizers, right? You're going to wear those personal monitor devices, all right? When we talk about terms like aeration and residual EO, aeration is required. This process takes 2.5 to 3.5 hours. It is a long process, right? And EO kills by a process called alkalization, right? Rendering the cell unable to reproduce by taking out the hydrogen and raising the alkalinity, essentially destroying the microorganism. Compatible with blue wrap, compatible with rigid containers as long as you have the right ones, compatible with your peel pouches, both kinds, steam and low temps, all right? But not something that you'll see in your internship. Very regulated by OSHA. And even the containers that you use, right, will have to be stored in a flammable cabinet that ventilates to the outside, all right? A lot of education, a lot of competencies, a lot of monitoring, all right? But something you will see, hydrogen peroxide, gas plasma, and vaporization, the VPRO, hydrogen peroxide. Your two most common low temperature sterilizers, right? Using hydrogen peroxide in the process of oxidation to kill microorganisms, all right? Clean. You're gonna wear gloves when you refill the sterilant container. It's in a nice enclosed container. We're not pouring liquid into anything. They're in nice closed containers. You use gloves when you handle that. And if the load aborts in either one, you're going to use your gloves for unpackaging, because sometimes there could be some, residual hydrogen peroxide just in the package that can cause a little minor irritation. So the IFU says we wear gloves. And these sterilizers, guys, just like my steam sterilizers, they require PMs. There's not much maintenance we do. There's nothing really that we check on these. We run biologicals in them every day. That's really the only check we're doing. But I do have somebody that comes out quarterly and does PMs, and they have to be recorded and kept for Joint Commission to show that we've kept up on the machine. And then, of course, my biological tests are all recorded, all right? When you are doing gas plasma and vapor hydrogen peroxide, no paper, no count sheets, no wicking material, no tray liners, no cotton, no linen, no water. All of these things will absorb the chemical and cause the load to abort, and you're going to have an issue, or cause your biological to fail. Overloading also, you got to be very careful not to overload these things. We don't shove 18 things in there. Usually 2 to 3 things at a time, not a whole lot of things at a time go in these, because they need space to move that chemical around the chamber. Too much items, it's going to abort, or your indicators aren't going to change, or your biologicals are going to fail because you overloaded it and it wasn't enough chemical. They only get so much chemical per load. That's why you have to be very careful with the loading instructions. Other than that, guys, as long as the IFU of the item says that it can go into low temperature sterilization, it can go into low temperature sterilization. We're following IFUs to make sure that we're picking the proper sterilization process to continue with before we move on to sterile storage. All right? How do we feel about that? I can feel my voice starting to go too. Again, I sound like an old lady here. All right, how do we feel about that, guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah, not too bad. I think, again, read the chapter. I don't think anything in here is too much. It's mainly mechanics of how these sterilizers work, right? We're going back to the same ideas, following the IFUs, right? You already know chemical, internal and external chemical indicators, right? You're already getting the idea that these are going to every type, whatever sterilization method we're using, we're going to be using internal and external chemical indicators. We're going to be running biologicals. We need to make sure we have the right packaging. We need to make sure we're selecting the right cycles. And you're learning about the different things which, are very common. If you overload a steam sterilizer, you're going to have issues. If you overload a low temperature sterilizer, you're going to have issues. If you use the wrong packaging material in the high temperature, you're going to have, in the steam, you're going to have issues. If you use the wrong packaging material in low temperature, you're going to have issues. So it's all the same concept. It's just that now we've moved into the gas and chemicals for sterilization as opposed to steam. All right? All right, guys. All right, let's get our cameras up for attendance. Some of you are doing very well at getting caught up, and I am trying to go in daily and get your grades done, because I appreciate you guys that are, getting in there and getting that knocked out. So I want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence and getting in there right away and get your grades updated.
You're welcome.
All right? Good job. Thank you, but how do you know I was looking at you? Yeah, I do, and that's great for you too. You're really gonna appreciate that, especially when we get towards the end and we're doing a lot of review, and you can spend your time kind of on that, not worrying about going back and doing 18 assignments.
Absolutely.
All right. But all of you are staying very well on track. I think we're moving along really well. So tomorrow we will be in the class, come rain or shine, come heck or high water. We will be in class tomorrow. I will have all the stuff out, packaging material, instruments. We'll do the envelope wrap. We'll go over all these things. We'll do a couple things. I'll see if I can bring in some IFUs so you can kind of see what they look like. Yeah, and we're going to continue right on. And if we need to continue into Monday to do more review, we can do that too before we move on to sterile storage. You guys are doing wonderfully. All right, guys. Cameras up, and I will do the attendance. Ooh. All right. Miss Janai, thank you. All right, Michael, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Albert, thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Miss Cruz, thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Keisha Bell, thank you, Miss. Appreciate you.
So this is me studying for Sterile Processing
Miss
Technician
Collins, thank you.
accreditation.
Thank you.
And
Terrence, thank you.
it's an involved, a lot of information. It's an involved
All
course.
right. Miss
We study,
Monique,
as you can see,
Miss
online
Letitia,
and
thank you,
in
sir.
person.
Appreciate that.
We have an in-person
Maya,
class setting as
thank
well.
you for your kind
And the
attention today.
sterile processing
Miss
technician
Shauna,
is
thank you for
essentially
your
the
input.
person
Always
who
appreciate first-hand view. And please
is the
continue to share
frontline
your stories
person in
with
the
us. It's
hospital
wonderful.
who
Every place is a little different,
makes
but we're all
sure
kind of the same.
and ensures, I should
All
say,
right.
that no
Miss
microorganisms,
Shapria, hello,
which can
ma'am.
cause disease, of course,
How are you?
affect any
Where's my miss? Let's see. Josephine,
instruments that are
you with me,
used
girl?
in any procedures in a
You got your
hospital.
camera.
So the sterile processing technician, who used to be called the central service technician,
I thought I had heard you
are the
earlier. I know you were
people
saying you
who
were going in
can
and out. All right.
ensure
And then
that
Miss
microorganisms do not
Carney. You hear Miss Carney?
infect or affect
Okay.
any
All right, guys.
instruments
So if you want me
used
to
in
review
any
anything, I will hang out. Don't mind my voice. It's just me.
process,
My voice always starts for a little bit. But if
be
you
it
like to take this
surgery
time for
or any other
independent study,
thing
read, get caught up on the
that is
assignments, that is fine as well.
done in a healthcare
If
facility
anybody
and or hospital.
don't have any questions, you may exit for the
And
evening
this is what I'm
and have a
doing
wonderful
right now.
evening. We'll be
Yep.
back in
It's a lot.
tomorrow. We will review
But it's
the
good.
exercise
It's good stuff.
15 and we'll move.
So
just
I'll be doing an
continue on.
externship,
with
400
review.
hours.
But if you do have any
And,
questions, I can go over
You know,
anything. You have me till
this is what I'm
9.
doing. This is what I got
Have a
going.
good
Well,
one.
this is one of the classes I'm doing, but yeah, this is what I got going. Yep. Because we're
I have a quick
TV,
question.
like, share, comment, subscribe.
I
Let's get it.
don't
Let's go.
remember if we are reviewing the progress tests that are in the workbook.
We have not been.
Okay. Because
We
I
have
thought
not been
that we.
together, but I do highly encourage you to do them on your own. I think
I do
they're
them on my
great.
own. I do the
I think
review
they're
test
great.
on the book on my own.
You know, kind of, you know, get you revved up for the actual test. Some people like to save
I've done
them
pretty well in
for
those
the
as well,
end
too,
of the
so.
class.
Yeah,
And
that's what
kind
we
of use
doing.
them because I tell people
Well,
that when the
this is what I'm
class
doing.
ends, you know, it doesn't mean you just throw your book. You want to keep kind of studying a little bit so that you take your test and keep refreshing.
Pass over though.
So some
Good
people will
attendance.
save the progress test till the end, and they'll use them as kind of like refreshers till they take their test.
So
But
it's
I
time for me to
do
get back to some
highly
study.
encourage you to take, and the answers are in the back of that book. So.
I'm out. Peace.
Okay.